Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dion, and today, as you can see from the title, we are doing a style spotlight on Chappell Roan. For the past 2 years, I feel like I've been seeing clips and little snippets of songs from this chick Chappell Roan. And then she opened up for Olivia Rodrigo, and I saw even more. Then she was at Coachella, and I was like, you know what? I gotta listen to this girl. And I'm obsessed, clearly. So I thought to kick off Pride Month, we would do Chappell Roan, the new queer lesbian artist who is just bringing fun back to concerts. If you're new here, I do try to do something special every Pride Month. I do have a little playlist if you want to see other fashion videos that highlight gay fashion creators and everything. But in this video, we're just gonna talk a little bit about Chappell Roan, her rise to fame, her makeup and fashion style, and how to get the look if you're going to a Chappell Roan concert or if you're just really inspired by her. So if you like fashion videos, then definitely subscribe to this channel because I post videos every Thursday. And with that, let's get into it. So to start off, let's just get the quick little Wikipedia on Miss Chappell Roan. So Chappell Roan is actually a stage name. Her real name is Kaylee Rose Amstutz, and she was born on February 19th, 1998 in Willard, Missouri, a small town near Springfield. She is the oldest of 4 children and lived in a trailer park. She has described her hometown and her upbringing as conservative and Christian. During her childhood, she attended church 3 times a week and spent summers at Christian camps. She began playing the piano when she was 10 or 11 years old and started taking lessons at age 12. She performed publicly for the first time at age 13, singing at her school's talent show, which she won. When she was about 14 years old, she auditioned for America's Got Talent without success. At 14 or 15, she started to upload covers to YouTube, drawing attention from various record labels. And on August 3rd, 2017, she released her first single, Good Hurt. The song was reviewed favorably in Interview, which praised her, quote, striking maturity and surprisingly deep vocals. Chappell Roan released 2 more singles in 2020 titled Love Me Anyway and California. However, her releases were not profitable enough for the label, who dropped her later that year. Her boyfriend of 4 years then broke up with her the very same week, and she spent the next 2 years working as a production assistant as well as a barista and nanny to support herself. Despite this, USA Today ranked Pink Pony Club 3rd on the list of 10 best songs of 2020, and a year after its release, Vulture described Pink Pony Club as the song of the summer 2021, calling it a synthy, infectious bangarang. So imagine you're dropped by your label, you're dumped, you're working as a nanny and in restaurants, but then a publication says one of your songs is the song of the summer, and then the next year, another publication says your song is the song of the summer. Like, absolutely crazy. By August 2022, the song had been streamed more than 10 million times on Spotify. On September 22nd, 2023, Chappell Roan released her full debut album, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, and began her headlining tour, the Midwest Princess Tour. Roan opened for Olivia Rodrigo's world tour from February to April 2024. Also in April, she performed at Coachella. At this time, Roan saw a growing success on Spotify, with several of her songs listed on its daily Top Songs USA chart, and her monthly listeners increasing by more than 500% from February to April. That's how big of an impact the world tour and Coachella had. Like, she just, and you saw it. The day that she did her Coachella performance and the day after when everyone was posting her videos and everything, like, she literally stole the show. She had 2 headlining tours around smaller towns in the US, and I heard about her on TikTok since 2021, especially the Red Wine Supernova Bridge, but I feel like she was inescapable on TikTok by 2023. And then with opening for Olivia Rodrigo, she gained a whole new massive fan base. On April 5th, 2024, right around the end of the Olivia Rodrigo tour, she released her newest single, Good Luck Babe, and that was the song that got me to bite. I was like, I heard the bridge and I was like, I'm just gonna listen to this Chappell girl. And I was going to work and I listened to Good Luck Babe and then the whole Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess album. Girl, it's so good. It's a feminine phenomenon. Like, I'm obsessed. I was immediately obsessed. It's so fun and silly and goofy. So I was into her, and then a week later, she performed at Coachella, and she wasn't even a headliner, but when you look at the videos, she's treated better than the headliners because people were so obsessed with her. She literally stole the entire festival, and the internet went crazy, and the feminine phenomenon spread to the entire country. She's now in like top 40 radio, which is insane. A lot of people are like, oh, she's an overnight success, like from the Coachella, she immediately like skyrocketed or whatever, but she's literally been working at this since she was like 14 or 15. She had singles on the charts while still like working as a barista and nannying. So it's like the opposite of an overnight success. It's really about like perseverance and key turning points in your career. She said after she released Pink Pony Club that if LA doesn't work out in a year, then she's moving back and she's just gonna sort of like give up or something. And it's like amazing how she stuck through it, and now again, she's like one of the biggest artists in the country right now. So because it's Pride Month, now we're gonna talk a little bit about Chappell Roan's queerness. Her songs are a lot about like women loving women, or being in a relationship with a woman and then getting left for a man, being in relationships with shitty men and switching over to women, like all those dynamics. She said in an interview recently that she's not interested in dating men, so I'm saying queer. She is like the queen of the lesbians, but I couldn't find like an official label of like lesbian or bisexual. Not that she owes anybody a label. I feel like that's kind of like whatever, she likes who she likes. She also said in an interview that like the interviewer was like, how do you feel about being called queen of the lesbians? And she's like, they're not wrong, so. And things can change over time, but she does have songs talking about men and a lot of songs talking about women, and her songs and her music really resonates with the gay community and especially like the sapphic community. So in an interview with Trixie Mattel, she really defended the queer communities in these smaller towns. Quote, I think it's very easy to think of the Midwest and South as a monolith. I'm like, no bitch, there are queens everywhere, regardless if you think there are or not. There are queer people everywhere in these teeny tiny towns who are the same as the bitches on the coast. They just don't have access to what those girls have. I'm so grateful because, like, no, the flyover states are not just Trump country. There are people desperately wanting to leave, like you and me. I think it's really important to have like voices like Trixie Mattel, who's from like rural Wisconsin, and Chappell Roan, who's from rural Missouri, to amplify and talk about their upbringing. Because even like, I mean, I'm from Florida, but I'm from Miami Beach, and like, yeah, you can sort of stick your nose up at the country and you can stick your nose up at like rural America, but it's that attitude and that sort of arrogance towards rural America that causes like this divide and causes a lot of people to feel very, very isolated. Her concerts are a safe space for everyone to be as loud and expressive as you want and as campy and as over the top as you want. Her music also encourages out and proud queerness and explicit songs about queer sexuality. We are always bombarded, and have been for decades, of like straight sexuality, and especially like men's perspective of having sex with women in songs, and it can be so explicit and so graphic. And whether you like it or not, I just appreciate the fact that Chappell Roan takes that same explicit and graphic energy and puts it towards writing queer love songs and women loving women love songs. I like in general the energy of women matching sort of men's explicit sexuality or sexualness. Artists like Cupcake or Cardi B or whatever, I think that's really awesome and fun, and I like that Chappell, maybe not to the extent of like Cupcake, but Chappell takes that energy and is explicit and blatant in her queerness and in her like sapphic relationships. And obviously it's not that we haven't heard lesbian artists before. There's Dusty Springfield, there's Tracy Chapman. We talked about Haley Kiyoko last year, who's a lesbian musical artist, aka Lesbian Jesus, so feel free to check that out. I did that for Pride last year. She's also really awesome and has a unique perspective on style. But I just think Chappell's like blatantness and explicitness is a little bit more unique to her, or at least something that I haven't heard in the mainstream as much. I feel like that's coming off as if she like cusses a lot or something, and it's not so much that. It's more like, I mean, explicit and blatant in the definition of so black and white and clear, because often queer artists will use allegories and other like metaphors to sort of make it more palatable and radio friendly and easier for everybody, aka straight people, to like understand and relate to. And Chappell really like uses she, her pronouns in her lyrics and talks about like specific women loving women sexual things. So that's what I mean. All right, now we're gonna get into what you guys are here for, the style. But I feel like her upbringing and her everything about her really influences her style. So we couldn't talk about Chappell Roan's style without her queerness, without her Midwest upbringing, all of that. Chappell really allows her Midwesternness to shine through in dictating her fashion choices. In that same interview with Paper Magazine with Trixie Mattel, she said, quote, "I'm not trying to be a chic bitch. I love the chic bitches, but I'm not trying to be like that. Nothing turns me off more than friggin' luxury brands." I feel like that is, at least where I grew up, Victoria's Secret was a luxury brand. I'm not kidding, that's luxury. Like Miss Me jeans. I feel like it comes out in my fashion. It comes out in how I speak. I'm very, very grateful for being from the Midwest. On her approach to touring in the summer, she said, quote, "I have bare feet. I'm not wearing shoes at an outdoor venue today. Didn't brush my hair. I'm in pajamas, free bleeding through my pants. I feel like I'm just being my 10-year-old self. The whole project is to honor my 10-year-old self. My whole persona is just me trying to honor that version of myself that I was never allowed to be." And for me, that is what drew me to Chappell Roan's whole style and music in general. It's fun, it is silly, it's goofy. There are more serious songs, obviously, but even they have like tongue-in-cheek in it. She's a very funny, humorous songwriter, and I love that she like treats her concerts like costume parties and just is so over the top and unabashedly herself. If you saw my Farmer's Daughter aesthetic video, then you know that I'm definitely predicting that this summer country influences are gonna be very, very big, especially with Beyonce, Casey Musgraves, Lana in September, and Chappell Roan all taking country western influences in their music and in their style. Like I think from Coachella, and we have Bonnaroo and other music festivals coming up, like cowboy boots, cowgirl hats are definitely like here to stay. Also, I'm filming this at 7 a.m., which is why the lighting is a little bit off. Chappell said, quote, "Look, you can be a queen who does friggin' hillbilly shit and also be a Violet Chachki. That's the beauty of drag. And then making it a pop persona that is a drag queen. It's like, I'm going out on stage in a friggin' dress made out of Wrangler pants. I can do that." And that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to do Chappell Roan's style, is because it is so about trailer park, Midwest, rural, not expensive, all of that. So it's such an accessible aesthetic that still is very fun, and like it's the opposite of having name brand things or new things or any of that. To really celebrate the aesthetic, it should be secondhand, it should be hand-me-down, it should be from inexpensive rural stores that real people shop at. One huge aspect of Chappell Roan's whole look, if you haven't noticed, is her makeup. So I want to touch on that as well. In the same interview with Trixie, she said, quote, "I love a pure white face. I started to do that because that's what the country boys called gay people in my hometown. Clowns. Like they were really embarrassing, like clowns. They danced like clowns. I was just like, bitch, I'll show you a clown if you want to see a clown." So I started doing that and referencing the girls in the 20s, all the classic stuff. Also my blue eyeshadow. I always loved blue eyeshadow and a big red lip. Glitter, my faves. Yahoo did an interview with her makeup artist, Donnie Dabby, which she only recently acquired within the last year. Before then, she was actually doing her beat herself, which is really impressive. Dabby said, quote, "I think she's bringing to the table this makeup maximalism moment. And I think the more she really leads into that and does it in an elevated way, it's going to be monumental to her rise in her career. The more thought she continues to put in her makeup, hair, and outfits, it's only going to make her audience go wilder for her. I think she's really making pop music really good again. She could really have an effect on culture as she grows in bringing playful, wild makeup back into the mainstream. I hope her makeup inspires people to wear glitter, rhinestones, or color, or even just switch out their black winged liner for green winged liner. I hope it inspires people to be more playful. I think that is so life-changing when you're able to finally start not caring about what people might say." And that's such a big part of like drag and club kid culture and a lot of like queer ballroom culture in general, is to have extremely expressive, sort of out there, almost off-putting makeup as a way to sort of just like take back the stares, take back the gawking that people have and be like, yeah, do it, I look crazy. For Chappell Roan's Tiny Desk NPR performance, she purposely had red lipstick on her teeth to like fully get in that trashy look. I tried to channel Chappell Roan's makeup today. I have a lot of like that like 80s blush. I feel so cool. I love doing blush like this. I did a dark brown liner with a red lip to sort of give like a more dramatic effect. And then I tried to do the bisexual flag on my eyes. You guys see like purple, pink, blue? I don't know. I tried to do my best. And I really, like I said, I'm not from the Midwest or the like rural South, but I am from Florida. So I'm trying to channel specifically this waitress from Pensacola, Florida that was best friends with my grandpa, who at this diner named Tonette. I'm really trying to channel Tonette's energy with my outfit, hair, makeup. You know, Florida diner waitress, North Florida diner waitress is my Midwest princess. So now finally we're gonna talk about getting the look. This is if you're going to a Chappell Roan concert, or even if it's just like a Chappell Roan like DJ party, a birthday party, or just like you want to express your queerness, maybe for pride or something like that. I think Chappell Roan is so inspirational and it's just so fun, especially for the summertime. I love that her concerts are unique to a theme for each show based on a song on her album or music video. So she'll like release it the day of or the day before and being like, this is the theme for, you know, Houston's concert, blah, blah, which I think is so cute. And even without that, her music videos in general aesthetic is so costumey. It's very easy to pick specific looks that she's done and emulate that if you're going for like a Chappell Roan style. I love that concerts are being used as an excuse to basically like have a Halloween party and go all out. That was one of my favorite things about seeing Taylor Swift, was like the community and everyone complimenting each other on their outfits. And I really want to go to a Chappell Roan concert. I live pretty close to Boston, but I literally went to a music festival in California, came back, saw the Rolling Stones in New York, and like Boston Calling was like the following weekend. And I was like, I literally can't go to another music festival. My body will start revolting. So for Chappell Roan inspired looks, like I said, you could do something that is like mimicking one of her outfits from the music videos. So mermaid, slumber party, the heart face look, the marching band look, or you can just go in drag. Almost all of her music videos have a drag queen in it. She has drag queens open up for her at her shows and as dancers and stuff in her shows. And she really grew up and found her voice in the drag community. So going in drag, even if you're a girl going in girl drag, I've done that before. It was very difficult. Or you could gender bend and switch and go in opposite drag, but it's fun just to be kooky and all of that. Obviously her aesthetic is all about campiness and maximalism, over the top. So put one more thing on before you leave the house. Not take one thing off, put one more thing on. Dramatic makeup is obviously such a staple. Even if you don't want to do like white face or crazy makeup, I feel like you can even do something like I did. Like I wouldn't wear this necessarily to work, but if I was going to a concert or show, I feel like this is pretty, or like Pride or something like that. This is not like super over the top, but still sort of gives that Chappell Roan look, especially if you do like blue eyeshadow, red lip, extreme blush, especially on the side of the face. That like androgynous 80s new wave look, I feel like translates really well. Obviously sequins and bright colors, even when she wears black, it's bedazzled. She does a lot of accents of like fetish wear or lingerie pieces. She's very burlesque, so corsets, fishnets, little bra tops, stuff like that, even like jock straps. Like she just sort of adds a little bit of like cheekiness in the way that like the British use cheeky. Like, oh, you're being naughty, you're being a bit cheeky, babes. Like, yeah, a little cheekiness to your outfit for a Chappell Roan look. And I think the most obvious thing is like out and proud queerness. A true Chappell look is living in your authentic truth. So wearing the colors of the flag you identify with, either in your makeup or in your clothing, having like little slogan tees that say cute little gay things on it. But yeah, I mean, that is so important about Chappell Roan, is living in your truth and just being as out loud and proud and expressive as you can be. And what better month to do that than Pride Month? So I hope you guys liked this video, the first video of Pride Month. I absolutely love Chappell Roan's music. I highly recommend checking her out and trying out like a funky fresh look. I think this is really fun. to be bright and almost purposely tacky. I love purposeful tackiness, and I think Chappell Roan and I have that in common. If you do like these kind of videos, please make sure to subscribe to my channel because I post videos every Thursday. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram because I post content there as well. And I have a Patreon where I post 2 bonus videos every single month that don't appear on YouTube. So exclusive content for you over there. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Have a happy day. Bye.